episode of the Miracle Marketing Podcast, where we bring you interviews from business owners, celebrity guests, and hot topics. I am your host, Brandon Adams, along with my co-host, super producer, Big Perion. Big Perion, what's going on today, sir?
Man, it is a blessed, beautiful, cold day, but it's great here in the A. How about you?
Doing good. A little chilly over here too, but we're about to heat it up. We have another guest that's in the ATL. I think he's in the ATL right now. He may be somewhere else, but um, he is from NBC's The Voice. His name is Mr. Jamar Langley, so we'll be hearing from him shortly. But in the meantime, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, send us an email to amiraclepodcast.com. And without further ado, we're going to welcome Mr. Jamar Langley to the show. How is it going, Mr. Jamar Langley?
Man, everything is well. How are you doing?
We doing great. So I hear from a little birdie that you got some holiday music out right now. So tell us a little bit about your holiday singles that it dropped on December 1st. And just to let you know, you are on the show with another big time producer in the ATL, Mr. Big Perion. Big Perion is a gold producer. So hopefully you guys can do some things together. But tell us about your holiday record.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, my holiday record is Holidays with You. And I kind of went a different direction with the production this time. I mean, usually for holidays we like the soft, sultry piano, strings sounding, which is cool. I love it. But I kind of wanted to add a little jazz influence to some soulish like vocals, along with a little rock guitar solo. So kind of just blending pieces of me together for a holiday song, basically. So Holidays with You, man, it's a pretty dope track. It's a track about love, staying indoors, it's cold outside. Let's dance to some music and let's just chill.
Gotcha.
Oh,
yeah.
So I've had the pleasure, I'm a publicist myself. I've had the pleasure of representing two artists from The Voice. I represented Eric Lynn from The Voice and also Beth Griffin from The Voice. Tell us about your experience on The Voice.
The Voice was the experience was actually more so an eye-opener for me than anything. Because, I mean, I've been doing this. I've been singing since the age of 3, producing and songwriting since the age of about 11 or 12. So, like, when you think about all those years of just doing the same thing, and then, you finally get a chance to do something like that, and you're more so called than, you are, been searching for it. Because now I wasn't searching for The Voice. And I was called to The Voice, through message. So it kind of came at a time where I was grinding the hardest. I understood my artistry. I understood who I was as a person, as an individual. And man, the experience made it that much easier for me as an artist to just go on there and just display my talent, pretty much. Yeah.
Carry on.
when you say you were called, can you explain that for our viewers?
Someone reached out to me through message on Instagram, so I didn't really audition. I had enough videos to where it was obvious that I had a talent. So whatever casting agent reached out to me, which I'm still grateful to this day, they just reached out to me, asked me did I want to audition, man. And of course, I'm like, if this is a real thing, because we get spam messages all the time. If this is a real thing, then of course I would love to audition for The Voice. I mean, like, let's see where it goes. And it's cool to go from that message to like top 15. So I basically went to the end of the show, give or take the 2 shows after my episode. So, hey, I can't argue with that. You know what I'm saying?
Not if you're getting a call. if people scout you out, then that says a lot about your gift, man. How was it being with on Team Chance the Rapper?
Oh, Team Chance, man. It's like knowing that family member that loves music just like you. I mean, because he gave me the tips, little things here and there, but for the most part, man, he just let me create. So all of the arrangements on the show, I was able to do that stuff. I mean, because I had the freedom to do it, and so he was just sitting back and enjoying, man, the entire thing. But yeah, man, it was cool to get the pointers from him. Small things such as, hey, you sing a song 1,000,000 times, and when you sing it 2,000,000, the 2,000,000th time, it should be the same way or better. The intensity should still be the same. And I mean, I just took that and ran with it. And man, it was good. It was a great experience with him.
That's dope. How do how are the relationships outside of the show? A lot of times, it's just these are just work relationships. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Most people, but do y'all stay in contact or?
Actually, yeah, we do. He's on the move right now. I think he just did the 10th anniversary of the Acid Rap album. And so I'm just waiting and being patient, for that moment when it's going to be like a true, real connect. But we stay connected, whether it's through DMs, whether it's through me being able to text him like my music catalog and stuff. The time will come around where I'm going to still get that. I'm going to get that call, like, yeah, I'll just be ready to go, you know. But until then, I'm working on my stuff and working on things that I have in place and projects I have coming out as well.
That's great.
That's dope.
So from The Voice, it's a big platform that you can use. You can always use that title to say that you were from The Voice. I know some people don't want to be attached to saying, oh, I'm from The Voice. They like to kind of just use their own artistry. How do you feel about it? Do you always put that you're from The Voice to use that recognition, or do you want to just go off your name and your talents itself?
I feel like when you go on The Voice, even though you got that stamp, you still have to understand that you're still going off your name, even when you're off The Voice. It's just that you've been on The Voice as your name. I mean, nothing changes. It should for any reason. It shouldn't change, but for the most part, it should actually give you more steam going forward if you know how to utilize it. I mean, I know some people say they want to detach from it. I mean, that's probably because, hey, they didn't probably go as far or they lost but The Voice is in season 25, going in season 25. I mean, so I wouldn't necessarily detach from the name, probably from the process I've detached. And, I mean, if people bring it up, they bring it up. It's even in interviews, that's cool too. But like, I feel like that's a notable thing. Like, that's national television.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying I retired from the NBA and I want nothing to do with it. I just want to be a commentator now. The truth is, like, your accolades from the NBA ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though you're not playing anymore, like, it's a part of you. Even if you want to be associated as like you want to be an artist now, the truth is they can pull up your stats from the NBA, and you can use that as some steam. So I just use it for what I use it for, and it's not really necessarily the first thing I go for, but if that's the first thing I'm recognized for, I'm never going to be like, oh no, I'm done with that. I'm like, no, it's a blessing because, hey, it's just one other thing I can add to my list of things as I go forward. So that's the way I feel about it.
So we're on the show with two musical artists. I want to hear from both of you on the creative side. One from the producer side. Do you produce or do you just, I know you
Yeah,
play instruments.
I have instrumentation. So I do, in that area, I definitely produce there. Mm-hmm.
So from the creative side, as a music artist from singing and also playing instruments and Perion, I want to get you guys say, because I'm not an artist. So I want to hear from you guys on that side. Go ahead. Jamar, or whichever one I want to go first.
So from the artist, I would call it live instrumentation, songwriting, songs, period. I just really stick to what I love when I in my I've never been into what's trending or what sound, may get me a certain place. I just really stick to how I create because I do believe at some point what I create will make sense to some group of people. There's a group of people out there that are waiting for my sound. And I always keep that in mind when I'm writing, when I'm doing production and when I'm singing as well. So I pretty much stick to whatever talents I've been given while still learning the ways of today. So that's pretty much how I go about my whole process. I just be me and just kind of add in this modern day feel to whoever Jamar Langley is.
That's dope. My process is similar, but over the past few years it has changed because of, I guess, the politics of music and being in it so long. I've been doing music over 30 years. I don't want to, basically date myself as being super old, but you know what I'm saying? I thank God that I'm at my age. But it's sometimes I think a lot of artists don't continue to grow or reach success because they lose the love. It becomes a job, and they have to go back to it being their love, their passion, and something they love to do. Love creating. Even now, I make songs that I haven't posted or put out. I make them for myself. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the studio and I catch a vibe, I may just do a hook, but it's what I feel. You know what I'm saying? I may be the only one in here vibing to it, rocking to it, but I don't find myself in a rush to put out a lot of music right now because it doesn't have anything to do with rejection. It's just because it's not for everybody. A lot of times I'm making a soundtrack for myself. It may be music that I want to hear while I'm cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? That I don't hear on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's a lot of music out there that doesn't. Um, Music creates moods, and I like to have a good, happy, joyful mood. And a lot of times, a lot of music that's being played on the radio don't create that for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel sexual all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want to feel good. I want to feel good and a vibe. Or if I want to, even for like my gospel music, if I want to get into create a worship environment or whatever. Sometimes it may not be a song that I hear from another artist. It may be a song that God just laid on my heart, and it just may just be a couple words that I'm saying over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So music to me, in that aspect, is now more personal than it is me trying to, you know, get the masses to hear what I'm doing or see what I'm doing.
Jamar, what inspiration does it take for you to write a song, or is it something that you just wake up doing, or does it certain things that give you inspiration to write? You write your own material, right?
Yep, all my own material. Yep. So it's really a combination of both. Like he said, it's really the love and the passion that keeps me inspired more than anything. But then it is what's around me and what's going on that's more on a positive note. Like he said, everything that makes sense. You don't feel like I don't want to feel overly sexual. I don't want to feel like I want to give off moods like that are like similar to real life because some people don't never had a relationship or been in love. So it's like I kind of write from that aspect. I write from aspect of people who are in love and people that want to be in love, people that are afraid to be in love. It just depends. But I do kind of just wake up and some things be in my mind, like literally in my sleep. There are songs, and I'm not even kidding. There's songs that kind of be in my mind, like even in my dreams most times. And then I just wake up and do it. And, there are things that I may see or hear. It might be a conversation I heard that kind of inspired, one word probably inspired the entire song or the entire subject matter. And with working with people, a lot of times it's really how does the person feel? Because when I work with write for artists, such as Zanique, because that's what I'm working with now. First thing I always do.
For everybody that doesn't know, Zanique is T.I. and Tiny's daughter, right? Yeah.
That's my girl. So when I do write for and with her, the first thing I ask her is like, how do you feel today? What are you feeling? And like once she explains, I'm like, okay, that's what we should write about. Because I know we can get stuck into like, I want to do this so I could please this. But like, how are you feeling? Because you know you might have the next best sound. You never know. You might have the next thing that's best to freaking Aaliyah or somebody. You know, that's who I usually compare it to, because that's what she kind of reminds me of. But you know, I think it's important to kind of just have that love, because that's where it really all stems from.
Yeah. Music is music is the soundtrack of life. You know what I'm saying? Like basically going back to like even when you go back to like the war and the civil rights movement and different things like that, different things that go on in society, there are certain artists who are in tune, and they you know, if they can't go out and fight, what they can do is provide a soundtrack for the movement. You know what I'm saying? We Are the World, or What's Going On, or even with like Aretha Franklin's Respect. You know what I'm saying? There are different songs that were used to help push the movement. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists do their part from where they're able to do. So, and I think with radio now, there's not enough of that mood music. There's not enough movement music, because there's a lot of things we're going through right now. There's not enough. I feel personally there's not enough music that's educating our youth and just avid music listeners, you know, basically to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We're being pushed, agendas are being pushed on us through music, but not us being storytellers saying how we feel about what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like we're chasing the dollar. Now, in your profession and what you do as a writer, has there been I mean, outside of like the singles that you have out now, has there been a time or a situation that has pushed you to write based on what's going on, whether
Oh
it was
man.
personal or around you?
Oh yeah, there have been plenty of times, and it's taught me how to be a better writer, because in the moment it's like I may not be feeling it, but it's like, okay, I kind of do that little personal challenge where I'm like, let me just poke my head in here. You know, I listen to all kind of music. Let me see if I can influence my sound in this area that they're pushing right now. Because I did a song with Joe Green. I did one or two with Joe Green, and you know, it wasn't really my area. You know, rap is really not my thing. You know, I'm not a rapper, but it's like I'm so indulged in like just the sound of. I just love all music, man. So I go back to some of my favorite rappers, which are probably rappers that don't really rap no more, which is fine. But you know, and I use that as like a catalyst in the moment to kind of come up with something that's a little different. And so the sound, it always resonates with people, because I'm still in the room, and I'm still doing what I'm forced to do, but I'm still adding elements of me in there somehow, some way. And it's still the song actually turned out to be on his, you know, both of the songs I did actually turned out to be on his album. So like I've had those moments where, you know, I was forced to kind of write what I kind of didn't want to, but in the moment I'm like, okay, well, you know, it could be a part of history that I may like or not like, but the choice is totally up to me right now, what I do with what I'm given right now. So I've definitely had them.
Now, going back to I know you say you was working with Zanique. That's how you pronounce her name.
So I need.
How is it working with other artists who are related to or affiliated with another artist in that family? You know, is there added pressure to like, we got to make sure that this song that we do meets, you know, pop standard, mom standard, you know, outside of just, you know, your regular peers hear your music and liking and supporting you? How was that?
Man, let me tell you, when I first met her, that was everything, you know, because I didn't know her personality. I just saw her on the Family Hustle, and here she is, you know, because yeah, my first time meeting her, was in T.I. in T.I. studio, but it wasn't done yet when I first had met Zonique. You know, they were still working on that studio. I mean, it didn't even have a booth. Like they had it like laid out, but like I was there when it was pretty much like a skeleton. But like that's my first time meeting everybody. I met Damani. I think I met the older brother too. Messiah and Damani, they were all in the session. Tiny, T.I. It's like a family cookout / session. I'm like, man, like, do y'all always do this? Like, wow, they're all in this like session with Zanique.
That's beautiful.
So there was automatically there was a pressure coming out the gate. But like I felt like I brought on the pressure because Zanique ended up being the total opposite of what you would think coming from one of the best writers in Tiny. You got T.I., you know, saying the king of trap music. I mean, you got all this stuff going on right now. So I kind of placed the pressure on myself to write a great song. Yeah. But as I was writing with her, she made it easy. And then once you realize the level of writing talent I had, you know, that was suitable for her, because I always say I'm probably not for everybody, but no, I can write, you know. She just really literally was like, every time we came in the studio, Jamar, I know you got something, man. What you got? And I was like, okay, like she really turned out to be really the opposite. So her last 2 singles, which is FTCU and Winter, I co-wrote and co-produced those. Those are her mom's favorite songs. And you know, there were top level writers and producers that had other songs. As a matter of fact, the episode where she did the listening party, I was there. So, you know, those songs actually played on TV. Winter played on TV. And, you know, it was one of the ones, thank God, God is good. You know, the 2 that I wrote with her were the 2 that she released right before she had the baby. So it was just proof again, like, hey man, I know you're meeting legends, but brother, you might be a legend too. You fell right in. You came in and you wrote some songs, and to this day, I'm still right there back working with her. So it's like I've solidified myself too, and I haven't got a chance to really meet T.I. and Tiny just yet. I was actually supposed to meet Tiny yesterday. That's a whole nother story. But I just didn't make it. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I got some stuff to fix in 2024. It's that show. It still got me in Hollywood, and I'm messing up. Now I'm just kidding. But now it's like, man, it's easier now. You know, the trust is there. We're like literally one-on-one trading ideas back and forth. And her mom always calls like during the session. She's always like FaceTiming, or this might be one of the days, because I have to go there today, as a matter of fact, 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Might be one of the days where her mom actually come out there. And I'm just preparing my mind for, you know, Tiny or T.I. to come in the session and sit in there and watch me work. So I'm already in my mind like, you know what? Hey, man, I'm going in as me. Like, God bless you with a lot of gifts, man. And, you know, songwriting is just one of them. And I'm just going to go in there, and I'm not going to be starstruck. I'm not going to let them get me off my game, you know, like I'm going in there ready.
Yeah, it's a blessing too, because her mom is an artist.
Man, man, what?
And a songwriter.
Yeah, so like, to have her like stamp on my stuff, like stuff that I know I wrote, I'm like, okay. And you know, once she meets me officially, because she never really met me officially, so it all makes sense. It'll be that full circle. But I'm working and writing good music until it happens.
Yeah, you'll be working with her too. You'll be working with her too.
I see it coming, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blessing. B.
So I wanted to ask you, being in Atlanta, there's a lot of competition in Atlanta. A lot of musical talent, a lot of writing, producing. How do you feel you stand out compared to all the talent that's in Atlanta? Because I've been in the Atlanta market. I've represented talent in the Atlanta market, and I know there's a lot of competition.
But I just honestly, man, I just stay true to who I am. I mean, because I feel like my time for the full spectrum of musicality is here. You know, and over the 10 years I've been in Atlanta, I've met so many people, and you know, like so many people have stamped my talent, you know, especially certain producers like Zaytoven, you got Stroud. I currently work with J.Reid, the producer, who who just landed a placement on he signed to Nicki Minaj. He just landed a placement, Pink Friday Girls, Nicki Minaj. And to have these type of people who've met so many artists and to be amongst a lot of artists when I go out and I haven't really performed. I wouldn't say that I performed a lot in Atlanta over an 11-year period. It's been very modest. So when I do pop out and perform, I do bring a different sound just based off of just being in like I always say, being in the gym. When you don't have all the performances, I'm just like a 38, 39-year-old LeBron, man. When I'm not playing, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like right now, I'm sitting in front of a computer and I got my MIDI board right here, and I got the mic right here. It's right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in here. Right now. Like I was saying, if I'm not playing, I'm not performing, I'm working. If I'm not doing any shows, I'm working on my shows. I'm in the garage with my amp. I got it on. I'm like literally doing stage performances. Like it's just what I'm doing. I'm always working. So when it comes to me stacking up against another artist, I'm my biggest competitor against me. So I'm not really competing against them. But if there was a competition, it's like I would be like, I hope they're ready, because I'm gonna be honest. I used to not. I really do this, man, like for real. So it's like, like I really do this for real. And if I'm called to perform in front of 100,000 right now, I'm ready to go. Like right now, I might need to get a shape up. You know what I'm saying? I would like to get a retwist and get cleaned up, but I'm ready to musically. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And that was taught through my parents and through the way I grew up. I grew up from a place where I didn't have these opportunities. I didn't grow up silver spoon. I don't got nobody in the music business, or I wasn't in Atlanta and I don't know a lot of people. So like I've made my way through, relationships and being just in the right place. So I've also practiced and just not being a good musician, being a great vocalist, great songwriter. Like I work on this stuff every day. So I feel like I stack up. I feel like I'm in a top 10 of Atlanta artists, top 5. I'm up there. I'm up there. Unless you can show me your proof of like your work, like I know, and I feel that I'm up there.
Okay.
So
Atlanta artists, you hear this? You heard it first on the Miracle Marketing Podcast. Jamar Langley is coming for you. He's in the top 5.
Top 5. Let's go.
Let's go. Jamar.
That's beautiful.
You work internationally at all?
I've had offers. I'm currently, I don't want to speak too fast. I'm currently being set up to do Hawaii this year, I believe. I think
Well, that's still the States.
Well, it's international. You never been nowhere.
Crossing a big river is international.
It's different from where I've been. But I do have some stuff. Someone from Ghana kind of reached out to. And then I know, like, Chance does his festival in Ghana every year. So, I'm trying to go ahead and make my way to be on that. It's kind of pacing myself, but I would love to go more international. I feel like I knew that the sound would be like for real appreciated much more. Not that it isn't here. It is here. And I thank God for anyone that listens to my music, that clicks the button, likes, share, all the little stuff count. But I know internationally, yeah, I'll probably get stuck over there.
That's what takes you to the next level.
Yes, sir. I believe it. Yes, sir.
They have a appreciation for music. Because I listen to all kind of music. As you can see, my wall is full of records, and this is not even a third of the records. I have records all around my room on the wall, from the ceiling down.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
And I love music like that, and it doesn't matter. It could be Henry Mancini. I go from him to George Duke to the Beatles to Aretha Franklin to whoever. So I just love music. It doesn't matter who it is. And I actually I know the pressure of dealing with different outside celebrities and stuff. Their family members. Like I work with Damani when he was little.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency is what get you through the doors. The things that you're doing, like music is life. You right there in your space, you create, you constantly do it. You say when you're not working, you're working. That
Mm-hmm.
consistency is what opens the door for you, because it's attracting all the open doors. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? By you doing what you do and staying consistent, that's why you don't have to call all the time. People call or come looking for you,
Mm-hmm.
because your opportunities are constantly looking for you. It's a lot of people talk about energy and all this different stuff, but in that realm, you attract what you think about the most. You think about money. Hustlers get up in the morning. They always got money on their mind. 9
Yep.
times out of 10, they gonna get it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So people who constantly are doing music and thinking about this all the time, they constantly get these opportunities.
Yeah.
It's the law. Um, I'm not gonna say the law of attraction, but it's based on the scriptures, because the scripture says, "Whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he." You know
So
what I'm
it's
saying?
he.
So if we think it, if we believe it, it appears. What we have in our mind becomes a reality after a while.
Yeah,
So
man.
your success and who you are now and how you think of yourself, it will cause everybody else that hear your music and that see you to feel that same way about you and your gift. That's why I don't think there's no limit to what you're doing and where you're going to be, even with dealing with different artists,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you're here or overseas, people are going to be drawn to that because of what you put out. And I think that is beautiful. I give you another example. It could be a girl who's not even pregnant, but
Mm-hmm.
if she thinks she's pregnant, her body will start reacting to that thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how the mind works. And in any field, when you put your mind to do anything, as long as you're focused on it and you're consistent with it, it's gonna come. I took a
Yep.
step back from music. One, because of family. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to spend more time with my family, because I know the pressure and the time that has to be put into music,
Mm-hmm.
any craft, and
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of issues in relationships come based on a person's craft or what they're focused on the most. If you're giving more attention to your music than you give to your family or to this or that, whatever you're giving the less attention to is going to lack in that area. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Have you ever had any issues, whether it was in a relationship or anything, or any problems that came because of a result of your love for your music and your passion?
Man, oh man. Listen, I'm not that old, but like the experience that going like the passion and relationship, whew, it's been a clash basically my whole life up until about 4 years ago. Meeting my wife, just having the right connect. But man, so many times, so many relationships have been, and I feel like it was probably for my good at the time, even though I didn't want it to be, because I come from a family of marriage. My mom and dad married 53 years. Everybody in my family's married. You know what I'm saying? So like love is like a thing, but it's like a whole thing. So I've had relationships where they've literally said, "Hey, you do music too much. Like I can't see, like I don't see, like, not only do you do music too much, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere." And then when it gets like that, it's like, okay, cool. Well, I mean, and I don't know why they think that
Cut
little
that
scared
off.
stop me from doing music. It never works. I always ended up leaving, man. It's always like, hey. And although, I'd be a little hurt because I used to be like a person that loved real hard. Just go and love hard. And man, I learned how to be like, okay, the right person to come when they come. But I am gonna continue to do what I feel like is my assignment.
Yeah.
And that's music. And so I've had those run-ins, man, over time. I've had a lot of them. Even with my daughter, and because I had my daughter young. She's 15 now. I have a 15-year-old. Y'all pray for me now. And got a 15-year-old man, and I'm still young too. So it's like, but even with her being out of states, I had to learn how to say no to certain opportunities that I felt like were big, because I'm like, now that everything, we've grown up, and her and my, her mom and I, we've reconciled, and we've grown up from being young and just being sporadic. And now it's time. So I take out time to really legitimately see her. Like, I put, no studio, no nothing. I'll jam pack my week just to make sure that I can be at her, track meets, to go see her. And she lives in Kentucky. Track meets, to go see her, when she's cheerleading. Prom's gonna come up soon at next year. I'm already planning, like, okay, she's gonna turn 16. I'm already, September. No, I'm not, it's like I'm putting stuff to the side, because I think I understand more of how to balance it. And then, my wife has a son, which, that's my son. I say stepson, but that's my boy. And, he's playing basketball, which is something I grew up playing. So it's like, I'm putting all this thing in perspective, because I'm realizing, with the amount of skill set that I have, I could do more now in a short amount of time, and then have more time with them. I figured it out a little bit. So it's like, when I'm in here recording and my son had come in here, like, most times if it's something, I'll like stop and go dribble the ball with him. We go to the court, shoot some up. I even exercise with him. Like, I just kind of learn how to put stuff on pause and like come back to it, because now doing that, I feel like the music is even better, because like my thoughts can kind of breathe, because when you're going at it, and you as production, you keep trying to produce something, and like it's just not hitting. It's just not hitting like you want to. But then you go and you chill, and then you be like, oh, that's what I was doing, and then you go back to it, and now that thing is clicking because you took that break. So I've learned that joint is important, man. So yeah.
Not to cut you off, Jamar, but we're running short of time. And for this last few minutes, I wanted you to tell everybody where to find you, where to find your singles. And we definitely, love having you on the show. So go ahead and plug that in the last minute that we have.
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram at I'm Jamar Langley. Facebook, Jamar Langley Music. I don't know why these are all different, but on Twitter, I'm Jamar_Langley. TikTok, I'm Jamar Langley Music. I mean, you type in Jamar Langley on any of these, you'll get me. My music on every app, every platform. Do TikTok videos to it. You can find Snapchat, all that stuff. You guys tune in with me. I got music that I released in 2020, which is In My Dreams. I also released Love Sessions Volume 1 in 2021, which is like an R&B tribute to all of the R&B greats here in Atlanta. And I got a bunch of singles on YouTube and SoundCloud. And I have my Christmas song, Holidays with You. It is the holiday season, so tune in with it, you guys. I know I've been talking a lot, but it's been a while since I had an interview, so.
Well, thank you for being on the show, and we'll be on the lookout for it. Thanks again.
Yes, sir.